Alright, what's up? MLB Talk 123 here, and I haven't made a video in a long time. I've been just really busy, and but I have been following baseball, obviously, and so I'm just gonna make this video of some surprises so far in the major leagues. We've had a lot so far this year. If you look at division standings, everyone expected Boston to be on top of the East, and Tampa Bay probably the projected last place finishers, or maybe around there, is actually in first. They're beating the Yankees. Now losing Carl Crawford and some other free agents in the relief was going to be a huge blow to them, and they knew that. But they acquired guys like Sanford in trade, and their pitching has been great so far. And their offense has been, if you have a team with B.J. Upton and Sanford and Evan Longoria and Ben Zobrist and such and some young players, you're not going to be bad. So I didn't think they were going to be as bad as people said, but I did not expect them to be beating Boston and the Yankees. And we all know Boston has struggled tremendously. In the Central, you look at the upside-down Central, they are calling it right now. Minnesota, the first place finisher from last year, is in last place with the worst record in baseball. Now you can put that blame to Justin Morneau getting hurt, trying to figure it out. Joe Mauer, I don't even know if he's played a game this season yet, and he was an MVP for them a few years ago. And their pitching really hasn't been good. And then you have Joe Nathan just trying to get back. This is going to be an off year for the Twins. They need to decide if they're going to be sellers or buyers. Also, you look at the White Sox. I think a lot of people expected them to be just a lot better, obviously. They got guys like Adam Dunn, and they got some guys in the bullpen and things like that. And I was on the White Sox bandwagon. I thought they were going to have a really good year. They started off good. They looked good. And then all of a sudden, they go on these streaks where they're so unpredictable. They'll lose 10 in a row. They'll win. They'll lose. It's just not consistent. And I think it might be a time for them to look at their coaches and managers, because with that much talent on a team, they can go in and win 20 in a row, but they can lose 10 in a row. So I think it might be a time for them to get new coaches in there, maybe even a new manager to keep it more consistent. Because if you have a guy like a successful manager that is, I'm not saying Ozzy's not a good manager or anything, but I'm saying that this has been many years in a row that I've noticed just as a fan that they're very inconsistent. You might want to look into that. Kansas City, we've all known that at some point they're going to be really good. They're really fun to watch. Their offense is obviously huge, and now, but I don't think people thought it'd come this soon. But I think what really finished it off was the free agent signings of Jeff Francoeur and Melky Cabrera and such, and then they trade Zach Greinke and get a pretty good deal out of that trade. So now with Jeff Francoeur doing so good, and Melky Cabrera doing great, and then you have Billy Butler and Hosmer, whatever. They have a few other great players in their lineup. This is going to be a fun team to watch. It really is. And then you have Cleveland, who I've always liked Cleveland, personally. Actually, I like the Tigers more than probably anyone in the Central because I love Michigan. But, Cleveland has been really surprising, but yet not. They have a good team. They have great young players. And obviously their bullpen has been lights out with Chris Perez, who they acquired in a trade that sent Mark DeRosa to the Cardinals, and it was a 2-month rental, and he was hurt half the time. So they got the best of that deal. But yeah, Cleveland's having a great year, and I would not be surprised if they win the Central Division. But also Detroit, I think they're going to make a run for their money here. They have great players. They started off a little slow, but they're coming together now, and they have a great lineup with Bosch hitting third, and Miguel Cabrera, the cleanup hitter, Victor Martinez. All of them, Ryan Rayburn is starting to hit, they're all expected to hit very well. Then if Austin Jackson starts going, and they got Verlander, that's their ace right there, and Max Scherzer, so they have a good team too. And in the West, I was a little surprised at this. The Angels are winning. I thought the Vernon Wells trade, I'm not going to go in huge detail, but I don't think it was a good trade. Mike Napoli actually might put up around the same numbers as Vernon Wells, so it doesn't make sense to give up Mike Napoli. And I'm thinking it was Kenji Morales. No, it's not. He's the one who got hurt. Can't think of the name, but they gave up two, good hitters for one good hitter. And I don't see why. I can see why, but I can't see why. I think they'd be better off keeping them, or at least if they're going to trade them for some prospects, trade them for, I just not really a fan of that. I can see what they're thinking, but I don't think it's gonna turn out what they expected. And now, Blue Jays have extra money in, and the Angels don't. They huge contract with Vernon Wells that they have now. Oakland, I thought they'd have a little better record by now. They were around 500 last season. Now, obviously, it's still very early in the season. I'm not saying anything. But Oakland, they're 1 over 500. And with all of these signings this year and acquisitions, I thought they'd be a little better record considering the fact that they're right around 500 last year. Maybe game over. So they're game over right now. I thought they'd be a little better. Texas started off so great. They lost Josh Hamilton. And I think that's really the main thing. When Josh Hamilton gets back and they start going, they're going to be a really tough team to beat. I mean, they're a really great team. They need that spark, though. They need Josh Hamilton. They need him in their lineup. With David Murphy, it's just not cutting it, I don't think. In Seattle, there's not much to say about Seattle other than the fact that they definitely need to kind of rebuild. And maybe in a few years they'll be back to a pretty good team. In the National League, Philadelphia is winning. That's no surprise. But the big surprises so far have been the Marlins and the Braves. The Braves have been not a good surprise though. They have struggled early on. They're starting to win. If Dan Elga starts to hit, that team is going to be a lot better. Getting Chipper Jones back is a huge thing for them. Martin Prado. So Atlanta can be good, and Philadelphia, that's no surprise. But Florida is a surprise so far. They've pitched really good, and they obviously have the hitting, the young players, the excitement to win the division. The Mets just need to start winning. St. Louis, this is the biggest surprise by far, in my opinion, other than Tampa Bay, teams-wise. I think when Adam Wainwright got hurt, everyone wrote St. Louis off. And I believe in the Cardinals. I am a Cardinals fan, so that's probably why. But I didn't know that they would probably be winning the division. I thought it'd be close. I thought they had a chance. Getting Lance Berkman, I was very excited about that signing. And it has turned out to be more than what people expected. Lance Berkman has been a very huge surprise among everyone with his production, obviously. He led the major in RBIs. I think he might still lead the majors in RBIs. And Matt Holliday is hitting around 400 and such. And so, obviously, that's a huge surprise. St. Louis is winning going into this weekend. They're playing them. In the West, San Francisco pulled ahead. The Rockies started off such a huge start, a great start. The Dodgers kind of disappointing for them. They got some signings. Kind of disappointing for them. San Diego, they're nowhere near at this point. I think they should trade Heath Bell, and I think that they should bring up Anthony Rizzo, and they'll start talking. But they definitely need to get some bats here. And I'm sorry I had to rush. I do have to kind of hit the road, but I'll make some videos very soon. Those are some huge surprises. Lance Berkman, the Tampa Bay Rays, St. Louis Cardinals being ahead in their division. The Minnesota Twins, a bad surprise. The White Sox also a bad surprise. The Cleveland Indians, positive surprise. The Royals, a positive surprise. The Rangers, you can't really blame them. It's Josh Hamilton being out. I think that's mainly it. And then I'm thinking now, the Marlins have been a very positive surprise. You kind of expect it with all the great young players, but it's starting to come together for them. And I mean, the Padres started off terrible, but I'm not going to put that entirely on Adrian Gonzalez trade, but they had to get some guys. They had to get Anthony Rizzo and some other guys for long term. And so hope you enjoy that. And that is kind of my, I don't know what to call it now. I'm trying to, think because I got to go. But anyway, that was some surprises so far in the major leagues, and it's May 12th, so there's a lot of season to go, and we are very excited. Well, I'm very excited about the season, and a ton of other people are too. So just comment if you want me to make some more videos. I haven't made them in a while, and I can talk about specific teams and such. All right, thank you guys.